Guys, I wanted to kind of have a little bit of fun. Recently, I talked about personal branding and empathy. And when I think of empathy, I think of tactical empathy. I think of Chris Voss, right? Let me show you the screen. And Chris Voss wrote a book called Never Split the Difference. It's a book that I've read many times, and I just love it. I've even done a number of podcasts on it, going through his story and some of his teachings. Just a great guy, a hero of mine, and I think he really has a lot to share. But if you have his book, Never Split the Difference, in chapter 3, he goes through and talks about tactical empathy. Now, we don't maybe need to use tactical empathy in our everyday lives, but you can take some of the lessons from the tactical empathy and apply it to our personal lives to help create friendships, to help us to be heard, to appreciate the difference between sympathy and empathy. So sympathy kind of feels like stepping into somebody's shoes. And while this might be great, for us to help understand the world, it doesn't really help the person when they're going through something and you say, yeah, I'm like that too, right? Now you're making it about yourself. You're not being empathetic anymore, and you kind of stop listening to what they're trying to express, or at least the message that you could be receiving in a way that you can help them. So if I go through it kind of quickly, on page 50, at least in my version, they go into tactical empathy, and on 51 says, they give a story of when he was a negotiator, and there were some bad guys hiding out in the building, and they weren't coming out, they weren't talking at all. It was total radio silence. So he just kept going. Hey, it looks like you don't want to come out. It seems like you worry that if you open the door, we'll come in guns blazing. It looks like you don't want to go back to jail. And he did this for like 6 hours. And finally, when he was about to give up, one of the snipers signals that there's movements in the curtain. And a moment later, all three guys came out with no weapons. There's no casualties. Nobody got injured. And in the end, once they were all handcuffed, he asked them, like, why did you come out after so much radio silence? And all three of the guys gave the same answer. We didn't want to get caught or get shot, but you calmed us down. They said, we finally believed you wouldn't go away, so we just came out. On the next page, I know I'm kind of talking through because I'm assuming like a lot of guys will get the book, right? But page 52, it goes into a little bit of definition for tactical empathy, at least. And tactical empathy is understanding the feelings and mindset of another in the moment, and also hearing what is behind those feelings. So, in case your influence in all those moments that follow, it brings into our attention to both the emotional obstacles and the potential pathways to getting to an agreement together, to getting to agreement done. And it's like they say it's like an emotional intelligence on steroids. And I really agree with this. I try to use empathy on all my business dealings, because it's a deeper way of looking at their challenges and in trying to see how you can help them out. So I've come to realize that if I'm listening to people and I'm hearing their story and their situation, and I apply this to business where I'm trying to help them find the best solution that's really going to solve their problem and help them succeed in their mission, that's when I hear the motion behind it, I understand their story, I can then help guide them through a process that's going to help them be successful as quickly as possible. Sometimes it takes a little digging. We all kind of have our challenges in life, and you want to be listening to what Chris calls those black swans that help give us a deeper insight into the real triggers and the real reasons people are doing things. So I hope this was a fun little spinner on empathy, and maybe we should talk about it more. I wonder if I should probably do a live on it. Anyways, guys, talk to you soon.